Hello again, Internet. So, decided to get myself back into RC. Specifically, got myself a crawler coming on order, an Axial Capra 1.9 four-wheel steering model. Yeah, it kind of went big. It's kind of what I do. What can I say? Got a lot of learning to do. Never really crawled before, but I think I'm going to love it. So also picked up the FlySky G7P transmitter, and I wanted to do a mod, and I'm not the first to do this, so others have done it too, but I did it maybe with a bit of a twist, and I'll show you what I did. But basically, it's nearly finished here. I've 3D printed some parts here, but it's essentially a thumb control unit. So the idea is that this is how I'm gonna control regular steering, obviously throttle, and then this will be controlling the rear steering on the unit. This guy here is really just it's hard to show you, but try to show this is really to give it some stability. I'm gonna gluing that down, and that just holds. Let me actually pop this out and I'll show you. Just holds this guy, gives it a little more stability. Because as I thumb it, it's going to flex, and I don't want to put stress on the pot unit inside there. So that will be glued down like so. Once I center it, obviously, and that'll give a bit more stability. The tolerances are pretty tight in here, but it's still got room to move. And again, I plan on just using my thumb to do this. So let me show you what I did.
Fast forward here to save you from waiting.
So others have just gone and bought a potentiometer, and it just basically expanded on the middle pot here. I decided that we're never really going to use this guy, so that is actually, believe it or not, glued on just for visual. But I essentially just removed the actual pot from here. I figured, well, what better way to do it than get the actual one they've installed, because I don't have to recalibrate. So I just desoldered it from the 3 pins there, ran some extension wire down, and then just resoldered it, and then just glued it here, drilled a hole obviously to fit it, and actually worked out quite well. There's a lot of tight spaces here and bumps and whatnot, so I spent a lot of time modeling this unit to fit nicely in there but not get in the way of anything. I'm likely gonna not use this dual switcher, the TR1, so I didn't really care that, obviously it's gonna be obstructed a fair bit. Worst case scenario, who knows, I can come up with something with that too and 3D print something and have it work function from above here. But if I had to get at it, I can get at it. I'm not too worried about that. There's enough other switches here that I can use on this controller to probably do the things that I'll do. I'm really, if I decide to use the dig, I can probably figure that out as well with one of the other buttons. This guy maybe, because it is sort of an on-off type button, or maybe this joystick hat button. Figure out a way to use that. Anyway, I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I'm going to share the 3D prints of this up on both my Maker World site as well as Thingiverse as well. So and just as a side note, I have like 30 iterations of these things, but I also have the ability to drop in a wheel in this as well. So I've got a D knob wheel on there as well that fits in there, so I could use the wheel. I just felt that this was going to be less stress on the trim pot than a bigger wheel where I could get a bit heavier in pressure. And this was my original thinking where I was designing. I was thinking about using an actual pot. I have 5K here, but actually I think it's actually a 1.5K trim pot, but I'm not positive about that. So I just had this laying around, so I was just using it to model, but I was going to install that. And I built a mechanism in here to basically, because this pot doesn't have a detent at center, I basically used a spring, printed a spring mechanism as well as some detent here, so that it basically, you can't hear that, but it sort of clicks to give you that center feeling. The good news is, because the one on this G7P already has the center detent, so I already know where center is, so it's easy to bring it back to center with the feel. It just falls in place. So, and no, I not currently a fan of the spring loading idea, having a spring-based mechanism to bring it back to center. I kind of wanted something where I could just say if I wanted to have the wheels turn, you know, a certain angle and leave them that way, it's obvious. I'm looking at the vehicle, I can fix it quickly. I don't need it to spring back, so I'm not worried about this for now. I haven't really played with it much, but I'm not worried about that. So there you have it. Again, I'll share that information down below. Please, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. And if you're on Maker World, would love a boost on those models if you download them and find them useful. Thanks. Bye.